Hi folks, I'm here to defend my position that I rather controversially made in an article this morning where I suggested that the BJP is set to win the battle for Uttar Pradesh. I want to take all your questions now because many of you have questions for me and very interesting questions. Someone has just told me on Twitter that why are you giving the BJP a clear victory when the fact is that this is a three-cornered race? Is what Nihal is asking me. Why are you not saying that it could be a hung assembly? Look, I think I haven't said in my article that the BJP will get a clear majority. Although recent elections in UP have shown whoever goes is single largest usually crosses the halfway mark. 2007 BSP, 2012 SP. My sense is that I believe that the way the battle for UP is being positioned, the Samajwadi Party and BSP are struggling with what I call the plus vote, means the additional vote. They have their core constituency. The BSP has their core constituency among Dalits, and to a large extent, the Samajwadi Party Congress alliance has the Yadav and Muslim vote. But as they are now saying on the streets of Lucknow, teen jati chodo, baki sab kahan ja rahe hain. And it's that larger social base that it appears that the BJP has at the moment, which has led me to believe that it is advantage BJP, particularly the most backward caste and the non-Yadav backward caste, the Kurmis, the Lodhs, the most backward caste like the Nishads, the Mauryas. So I think the Rajbhars, you have a situation where the social base of the BJP at the moment is, to my belief, along with the upper caste, a bit wider than what the Congress SP alliance has or the BSP. So that was one of the major factors that I was looking at when I arrived at the conclusion that it is advantage BJP. That's the first point. Let me look at more questions that you're sending. There are those who are saying that I'm casting a panbatti on the BJP by saying that they're going to win the elections even when I don't want them to win. I don't know where you get this feeling. As a journalist, I don't really care who forms a government in Uttar Pradesh. I may have my own personal views, but as a journalist, I am reporting what I see around me. I travel through Uttar Pradesh and I got a genuine sense that at one level there is a belief that we've tried Mayawati for 5 years. We've had Akhilesh for 5 years. There's a lot of goodwill for Akhilesh, particularly among the youth, but there's also a mood for change. And the beneficiary of that mood for Parivartan could be the BJP this time, because people are saying we've given 5 years to Mayawati, 5 years to the Yadavs, why not Mr. Modi? And Mr. Modi's personal appeal in particular in this context is very high. And that, to my mind, is a critical factor. You know, there's a scheme called the Ujjwala scheme, the one for kerosene and LPG scheme that he has. And I think the Ujjwala scheme, which I have more details on in the context of Uttar Pradesh, is an important one in attracting a more pro-poor audience. You know, the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, it effectively ensures that, you know, provides LPG connections to BPL households in the country. And I think that is working to create some kind of a pro-poor coalition which works to the advantage of the Prime Minister. So I would say, you know, these are some of the factors that I've been looking at in this election. It has nothing to do with Panbatti. As I said in my article, in 1993, I got it horribly wrong when I predicted a BJP win. That doesn't mean I'm going to get it wrong again this time. So I think it depends on, you know, it really depends on the kind of eventual voter turnout. I'm going to ask my colleague Surinder, who's recording this, to keep getting the questions. There must be questions coming. Why don't you all take the questions instead of recording at both places, guys? One of you must give me the questions. And there must be questions coming. Why don't you look at the questions, please? Give me the question, then I can answer the questions. Because you're asking me to look at both from one place. Come on, guys. You all should be giving me the questions rather than both looking at the same recording. What's the question? Give me questions.
Yeah. Abhishek has asked.
Yes.
BJP has no idea about work. What is that? And another question is from Ashish Sharma. Does Akhilesh treatment with his father affects SP?
Okay, let's look at that. Ashish is asking, does Akhilesh's treatment of his father affect the SP's chances? Look, you know, I think what happened, look at the election itself. Mulayam Singh Yadav has done barely 1.5 rally. In fact, the joke in Lucknow is that Akhilesh Yadav has given 105 seats to the Congress and only 5 seats to the father. Anyone closely linked to Mulayam was almost denied a seat. Shivpal Yadav eventually got one, but very few of the Mulayam loyalists have got tickets. And this, particularly in the Etah, Mainpuri, Etawah strongholds of the Yadavs, could cost them half a dozen seats because Shivpal Yadav has worked, we are told, to actually put up rebel candidates to try and defeat the official Samajwadi Party candidate. So yes, I would agree that to some extent, the timing, that it happened just too close to the election. I think Akhilesh Yadav spent a lot of political capital in resolving that family battle, getting the symbol. And I think that took away some of the time that he may have otherwise had to fight the election battle. Remember, he's virtually a lone warrior. He's had to put out Dimple Yadav to campaign extensively this time because there is nobody else left. It's just, it's husband and wife rather than the Yadav family. I mean, there is no other strong Samajwadi Party campaigner apart from Akhilesh and to a lesser extent Dimple Yadav. So I think, yes, to answer your question, it did affect.
Vinod Varghese, that means they have played the religious card very well.
It's regarding BJP.
Vinod Varghese is asking that, has the BJP played the religious card very well? I think that's one of the more unfortunate aspects of this election. That as the election started with the BJP talking of Vikas, but I believe after the first and second rounds, when they were not so sure of their numbers, they decided that there was an aggressive voting going on among Muslims and Yadavs towards the Samajwadi Party. And to create a kind of counter polarization, they fell into the old trap of the BJP of trying to polarize the electorate. I think Amit Shah's statement on Kasab was most unfortunate. I think the Prime Minister, raising the absurd statement that there is power during Ramzan and not during Diwali was just not done. Shamshan Kabristan, is that the real issue facing the people of UP? Even now, Sakshi Maharaj saying all those with burqas who come to vote, their identity card should be checked. All of this is an attempt to polarize the electorate at one level. These anti-Romeo squads, the government says it's about law and order. My own sense, it's again Hindu girls. Remember Love Jihad a couple of years ago. So I think there was an attempt, and there has been a concerted attempt as this election has gone on to try and polarize the electorate in some way. And I think that's unfortunate because I don't think the BJP needs to do that. And I believe when they do that, it actually adversely affects them. I don't think that the most backward caste this time are voting for the BJP because of Hindutva. They are voting in a sense because there is a feeling that they will get certain benefits from the center and the state government being the same. They've tried Mayawati, they've tried Mulayam. There's a lot of anti-Yadav feeling. That's what's consolidating the most backward caste, not the Hindutva feeling. And I think to that extent, I would avoid this kind of politics of Hindutva if I was the BJP. It doesn't suit you. It doesn't work for them in the long run. In the short run, temporary benefits you may get. But Aditya Nath cannot be the face of the BJP of the future. Neither can a Sakshi Maharaj. So I would advise them not to go ahead with this, even though they seem to believe that that's another magic bullet they have. More questions.
So Vishavir Singh Rana is asking how you are predicting that BJP can win in UP. This is what he has.
Vishavir Rana, I think I answered that. My belief is the BJP got 42% of the vote in the 2014 general elections. In a three-cornered race, you need 34-35% to win comfortably. Even if there was a 7% diminution in the BJP's vote. And that's roughly what would correspond to what one would expect if the wave is not there. And there is reason to believe there isn't any big wave for any party. But even at 35%, it's advantage BJP. So purely cephalogically, the BJP, even with a declining vote share, could still emerge as a party number one.
And Nikhil Rajan is asking who, according to you, can be the CM face in UP from BJP?
That's a good question. Who can be the CM face of the BJP? Various names are doing the rounds. There is the UP mayor, his name is doing the round, Dinesh Sharma. There's been talk that he could be if they wanted a Brahmin candidate. But my sense is that the mayor, that given the strong, most backward caste support for the BJP, you might get someone from that community this time. Or in some, a name doesn't readily come to mind. There's some talk that if the BJP didn't have an MBC candidate and chose someone outside the legislators, it could be someone like a Manoj Sinha. There was even talk of sending someone from Delhi. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a legislator, as we've seen both in Haryana and we've seen in Maharashtra. A younger face will emerge, and possibly from the backward caste community, because I think the BJP wants to do its own social engineering, wants to rework the kind of social coalition that it has. Let's take just two more questions.
So John Martin is asking whether this Ram Temple promise of BJP would affect their performance in UP.
Look, the Ram Temple promise is the oldest chestnut in the book. The Ram Temple promise has been now there since the late fire once, you can't fire it again. I don't believe you can win elections or lose elections anymore on Ram Mandir. The BJP will do it in certain areas like Ayodhya to keep the pot boiling. I don't think it's a core issue. Look, if the BJP wins the election, it'll be because I do believe that Narendra Modi commands a lot of personal political capital today. And I do believe he's the most popular leader in Uttar Pradesh. I think he's been able, I know Priyanka Gandhi called him the outsider and an adopted child in Uttar Pradesh. But I think he's much more than that. I think he's been able to build a kind of connect. And even if there are unfulfilled promises in terms of jobs on the ground, and even if there's a sense that this isn't exactly a Achhe Din post demonetization, I think people are still willing to give Mr. Modi the benefit of doubt.
And Ravi Sharma asked, do you think Muslim votes not working for BSP?
Good question. I think there is a sense that Mayawati, once she put up almost 103 Muslim candidates, there was a sense that her conscious attempt, and she made it open, was to appeal to a Dalit Muslim alliance. And that was her hope. But what has happened, I think that 20% Muslim constituency, 19 to 20% has, where Mayawati had a very strong candidate, either from the Muslim community or a Dalit community, Muslims may be willing to vote for her. Muslims in UP fear the BJP today. So therefore they were looking for an alternative. So where Mayawati had a strong candidate, they may have voted for her. But by and large, I think they saw that the Samajwadi Party, Congress combined was offering a stronger challenge somewhere. Mayawati is still practicing an old style politics. And I think that kind of politics of sort of believing 1 + 1 = 2, add Dalit, add Muslim and you'll win votes, it doesn't work anymore as easily as it might have 10 years ago also. So I think that the Muslim vote, my sense traveling around was that they were more inclined towards Samajwadi Party and Rahul Gandhi. They felt they would offer a more formidable challenge. But there are parts, Ghazipur, going to the polls in a few days time, Mukhtar Ansari, the Don of Ghazipur, will bring in votes to Mayawati. So where Mayawati has strong candidates, don't be surprised if the Muslim vote goes to her. We'll take two more questions. Any more questions? Are we getting more questions in? No, that's about it. We're more or less run out of questions. So that's it. We'll wait now for our exit poll. That comes out on the 9th of March is the exit poll. 11th is counting day. Yes, Surinder, you have a question?
So, like someone, this Ramesh Kuru is asking, do you think there will be talks on Kashmir after UP polls?
No, Ramesh, I don't want to go into Kashmir on this issue. Let's focus only on UP. If there's a UP related question, go ahead with it. Yes.
Is Rahul effect is a pro-BJP?
Okay, Surinder, that's a very good question that you've asked, that Ramesh has asked. Is Rahul effect pro-BJP? My own sense is that Akhilesh gave 40 seats too many to the Congress. The Congress's strength on the ground was about 60-65 seats. I think 105 is far too many seats to have given the Congress. I think the Congress's strength on the ground doesn't match that. And look at it this way. BJP in this last stage is putting about 15-16 union ministers out there in the field. How many Congress leaders apart from Rahul Gandhi have even gone and battled in the field? Priyanka Gandhi barely did one public appearance. Sonia Gandhi has not even gone and campaigned. So just like Akhilesh has had the entire burden on him, Rahul has had to carry the entire Congress burden. And that's not enough. You need organizations to translate your appeal into votes. So I think Rahul Gandhi has tried very hard. But I just don't think, again, the Congress has that kind of cadre on the ground to convert the goodwill that the Congress may have commanded for historical reasons into votes. And that's another reason why I believe it's advantage BJP. So, I've always said from day one, I think, of this election, it's advantage BJP. With every round, my belief has strengthened, barring the fact that in the first two rounds, maybe they didn't do as well as they might have, that the BJP is in pole position. But in UP, You never know. And who knows, on the 11th I could have egg on my face. If I have egg on my face, be sure to wipe it. Surinder will wipe it for me. Thanks very much for joining us on Facebook Live. We'll have many more in the run-up to the elections. I'm going to be taking the weekend off. So we'll be back with Facebook Live on Monday with another subject, some more talking to do. Always ready for your questions. Thanks for listening to me.